Hi, this is Shannon Anderson with the 2-minute testimony again. First of all, I just want to say thank you to those of you who encouraged me to continue with these devotional videos. I was grappling with something I want to talk about today, and I want to talk about fear because I know that everybody wrestles with it in different amounts. And my question to you kind of today is, have you ever been afraid of being misguided? And obviously, before you make any big decisions in your life, you should pray. But sometimes, even when we pray, we don't get an emphatic yes or no, and we are left to figure things out and kind of determine God's plan. And sometimes we have things in our heart and we don't do them because we're afraid to get out of God's will, or we're afraid to get in the flesh, but either way you put it, it's fear. We're afraid to disappoint God, or we're just afraid, which is ridiculous. But God reminded me of the reason why we really don't have to be afraid or getting out of God's will. Because he reminded me of a character who was out of God's will, and this was Saul. Saul, if you remember, was out killing Christians, but he had a heart for God. He thought he was doing God's work and will. But because he had a heart for God, the Lord transformed him into an amazing follower of Jesus Christ and someone who went on to go write 2/3 of the New Testament. So when I think about being wrong, and I think about being afraid, and I think about being out of God's will, or those possibilities, God was just good to remind me of, you can't be more wrong than being out there killing Christians like Saul was. But even then, he had Paul's back. He turned him. He transformed him. He took that heart for God, even though it was misguided. He was sincere. He was sincerely wrong, but he was still sincere. He had a heart for God. So he was able to be used and transformed to Paul, who was then able to write 2/3 of the New Testament. So my admonishment to you and my encouragement to you is, do that which you're afraid of. Write the book. Apply for the job. Go after your dreams today. Believe for your healing. Lay hands on someone and believe they'll be healed. Take God at his word and go for the things that are in your heart. And know that God's got your back. He's got your back. And even if you're wrong, you can't be more wrong than killing Christians. And if he could do that for Paul, if he can redeem that situation for Paul, he can also redeem your situation. So don't be afraid of being wrong. Find something you're fearful of. Find something that you wouldn't usually do and hit it head on. Take it on. And just remember, like I said, God's got your back. This is Shannon Anderson with the 2-minute testimony. And remember, gospel means good news.